Diyen kami, de chikatobior, lishkia.
Yeah, please start if you're ready.
Okay, so if everybody is seeing the presentations, thank you very much and welcome everybody to these sessions about sharing Copilot 365 agents and Copilot Studio agents with everyone. So we will speak about the journey, the cost, and the governance. And starting now, I will put on my screen to the presentation, so I will not see if your eyes end immediately. So, just to present myself very quickly, I'm Romain Gerard. I'm on the network, social network, I'm known as the Copilot Studio Bearded Bear. I'm a Microsoft MVP and Copilot Studio and super user and moderator of the official Microsoft Power Platform community. And I have also a real life job as I'm working in IT services company, and I'm making a lot of content about Copilot Studio. So, starting today's sessions, the main idea about these sessions is, thank you for the comment, Adrian. The main idea of these sessions that we will speak for the next 45 minutes, it's we are in the admin track, so it will be as admin perspective. When in your company, they tell you, I want to have agents, I want people to create agents, or I'm already starting. We will need to deploy agents, and we will have matters about cost and configurations. So we will have to monitor these agents, and sure, some governance. So a lot of things to discuss today. It could actual a whole week to discuss about everything. But the idea is to give you the toolkit when your boss asks you to put everything in orders. It's what you have to think, what you have to prepare, what you have to take in considerations when we will work with this. So not a lot of demonstrations, nearly absolutely no demonstrations. It's a lot more about speaking and explaining. So it's not a marketing presentation about project. It's not the purpose of today. So I will go to the next slide. Just this slide, probably most of you have already seen this slide. It's just to have the same vocabulary together and to be sure that everybody know what we'll speak about. Today's focus will be on low-code artificial intelligence. So what you have inside M365 tenants and when you have to worry and govern these agents and to prepare the journey from nothing to have this low-code agent. So Copilot 365 premium users could make something called agent builders. They use this tool to create agents within Copilot 365. And at the other side of the low-code part, you have Copilot Studio, which is the part of the Power Platform dedicated to create agents. That's why I put the logo of the Power Platform part. Copilot Studio with Microsoft Foundry, it's within this part, but we will not speak about Foundry governance because it could take another week to speak about this one. So just to have some little context. So we could summarize everything with only this slide. The two-day toolkits and what we will speak about. So in your tenant, you have an agent ecosystem. You have Microsoft agents like researcher, analyzer, facilitator, a lot of already built-in agents. You have a lot of third-party agents like Teams administrator have a lot of third-party applications probably in their store. You have the same with agents. And your agents you want to create and go through the journey with Agent Builder and Copilot Studio. And for the governance stack, there are more tools than these three, and we will see later in the presentation there are more tools. But mostly you have Agent 365 and Copilot Control System, which mainly to start are about observing governance and security with things like registry, lifecycle, more for AI admins. I will go deeper later. The Power Platform Admin Center will be very important when you will think about the governance stack of AI agents and low-code agents in your tenant. And Microsoft Purview, you don't need to be a full expert on Microsoft Purview, but from Agent 365 and Power Platform, you could select some Purview templates, and you will have some Purview configurations that will impact your agents. So it's already 5 minutes. It was the introductions. So first, creations, because creations, it's not your job to create the agents, but the way that people in the organizations want to create and why they want to create will have a lot of impact on the governance that you will use, the tool you will use, and the data and all the security. So it's quite important to understand why they choose, because I hope that already people who want to make agents already understand this, but it's really important to understand that you have only one ecosystem, but you have two tools with very different purpose. And these different purpose have different impact on your governance and on the journey. So when people will speak about agent builders, it's about speaking mostly about knowledge. Sorry, I'm French. Sometimes I don't have the good English accents. So it's speaking about the agents which search on internet, the web, M365, mail, Teams, SharePoint, or document provided as input. Mostly, it's about working with prompt and connect to this data. No complex workflow, no complex tool. So mostly security part or governance will be about data, or if you just speak about this at the beginning. But you have the first trap at this moment, the deployment target. Because by default, we think that agent builders is only for people who have Copilot 365 Premium licenses and just to share together. But you could, and they could ask you to share these agent builders to more people, to group of people, or to all company, so to people who don't have Copilot 365 licenses. So this deployment target will have a lot of impact on your governance and what they do, these agents. We will see monitoring tools like this, don't worry. Copilot Studio, we will see if it's an important decision because Copilot Studio agents do more. They could do a lot of actions inside and outside your M365 tenants, so data can have their own journey. Agents in Copilot Studio can act as their own, so it's not the user identity which will work with it. So we'll speak about agent identity. And it could use some custom AI, other tools to control the answers, and more of it. It's not more about Microsoft Teams or Copilot Chat. It could be about website, WhatsApp, mobile applications, and a lot of distribution channel. So next slide, and I will just to remind, all the presentation will be on YouTube, so you will have this one. I will not spend a lot of time. It's just because every point I show in the previous slide, it's like a decision tree. Every time you will say no to a question, it's probably an agent builder, and yes, Copilot Studio. But what's more important, if you decide that to remove, to cut some features, you don't want people to have access to certain features of the agents. So the answer could not be yes or could not be no because you have some company constraints. Be careful. You could have a situation when people will try shadow AI, like shadow IT. So just remind, more important is to monitor and control and to let this use case happen and to have some control because every time it's impossible to answer by yes or no on this decision tree, maybe you are opening the door of the shadow IT. So I will not read this. It was just for the YouTube recording. Starting as administrator perspective. So Some people in the company decide to create agents, or your boss wants, I need AI, we already make a lot of agents, and we choose different solutions. What's this choice of tools, Agent Builder, Copilot Studio, imply for you as administrator? First, data access. The data access for agent builders, there is something very important. Depending on your administration experiences, you probably already know that in Microsoft 365, there is a core feature that is called security trimming. That's, to make it simple, every action on M365 is made with a user identity and only with the user permissions. Agent will only see what the users which ask questions to other agents will see. So never an agent will show you content that the user cannot access. So if you see some content that user is not supposed to see, it's not the agent fault. It's the probably SharePoint administrator problem or a user who did wrong permission sharing. But here is the first little trap that is not written here. I want to share with you. Internet and having agents using internet as a knowledge source. Probably on your company computers, you forbid some websites, some bad websites that you don't want people to go. And it's on the web browser's policies or firewall or whatever security tools you use to filter networks and website access. The agents is not running inside your company. So it will ignore all those websites you forbid. So be careful. When you enable internet access and internet knowledge, and it's very important to enable it, because if you remove it, you will open the shadow AI door. But just remind that some websites that you don't want to be used by people could be used by AI agents. So be careful for this one. Copilot Studio, other trap. We start with a lot of trap. In Copilot Studio, it's more mature or advanced or IT Pro usage for Copilot Studio. And Copilot Studio, by default, you work like agent builders, authentication and authorizations. What's important is, since it's a Power Platform part in Power Platform, and it's the same for Copilot Studio, a maker could replace this authentications with something else and more. For some tools in the agents, they could say, no, for these tools, it will not be the user authentications. It will be the account used to run the Copilot Studio or to run the tools or the maker account, which will run. So we'll create a situations where a user will access other data because the maker decide to use another account. Good news, it's my personal recommendations. It's very easy to configure. You go to the Power Platform Admin Center, just a checkbox, remove this by default on all environments, and just enable it for some special environment for very IT Pro, very pro IT Pro for specific use cases, so you will avoid any mistake. So dangerous, but one click and no more trap. Other ones, and I will go a little bit faster, as a governance, quite easy, since Agent Builders is only Agent Builders from Copilot 365. You don't have any application lifecycle management concerns or business case isolations. Everything you will configure with Agent 365, it's the global tools, and we'll speak more in the futures, and Purview will apply. Only part could be used is about the Power Platform Admin Center if you want to have some advanced cost management, but we will see later, because we will speak about the legends of Copilot 365 user premium. Everything is free. It's not completely true. Copilot Studio if you are already an administrator for Power Platforms, you already know what it is. For the others, just to understand, Copilot Studio is part of the Power Platform, which is part of M365 inside your tenant. It's work like any development technology. So you have environment, test, prod, pre-prod, user acceptance, test environment, sandbox, everything you imagine. It's like you are thinking about applications, and every tool, every connectors, everything you use could be managed globally or by environment, and the big difference by agent. Big difference with Agent Builder. Cost, we will not speak a lot because we will have a chapter dedicated, but just be careful. When you will share Copilot 365 agent made by agent builders, and if you share with unlicensed user which only use Copilot Chat, you will have some cost. And in Copilot Studio, we'll speak later more, but be careful because some part of advanced AI tool are not part of Copilot Studio or Agent Builder, and you will be charged. So just thinking about this, about the beginning. And the journey, we will speak about more in the chapter about the deployment part and how to share. But just to know that Agent Builder, you have some capacity to manage the direct sharing of Agent Builders. You could remove, accept, etc. And you could take all manual process or have some workflow with that's called request. For Copilot Studio, you will have other consideration to take in account. And so, if you want to summarize this first part, what you must anticipate and what you control related with decisions of people who make agents. So it's quite different approach because many times people want to speak about a lot of governance, etc. Just this time, just thinking the other way from the user journey or creator journey. Agent Builder, most of the settings will be inside the Copilot control system on Agent 365. First of all, one other trap, a lot of trap today. You have an agent creation toggle. You could say it's impossible to create agent with Agent Builder. Please don't toggle it off, or you need a real matter, but I can understand that's why. Because if you put it off, first you will open Shadow AI door, but when you put it on, there is a little problem at the moment. If it's off, you are disable more than the creation of agents because other tools will disappear. If you put to off the Agent Builder creations tools, you will remove analyzer, researchers, and many built-in agents. At the moment, this simple toggle will disable a lot of features for your people. So what I will recommend, put it on, and then go to the sharing scope. And if you really want people to don't make a mess on your tenant, just remove sharing capacity. Okay. It's fully understandable at the beginning, you don't want to have agents everywhere. Just let people start to make their agents. Remove sharing capacity or just let direct sharing capacity because it will be blocked to 98 people. And they will not go to the entire organizations. And when they want to go to larger sharing, we will see in the next step, they have other features. One less known feature that I don't recommend in 2026, but if you start with AI in company, you have these options. You could decide that some people on your company don't have access to AI features. And little bit, you have the same for other AI tool like Anthropics. You can decide who in the company could have access to Microsoft AI or Anthropics AI or other in the futures. And I spoke a lot about web search policies, just so you know that at the global M365 admin centers, you could tell that you remove internet as a web source. I'm not recommended it because people will be frustrated. Just if you are in specific company needs, it's still possible. And you have, I spoke about image generations, just you have a web page in Copilot control system with settings. You have 20, 30, you have a lot of parameters. Just here, I think the most important one you need to focus on. For Copilot Studio, it's Power Platform. So first trap here, People with Copilot 365 Premium licenses are authorized to work in Copilot Studio. Or if people don't have a Copilot 365 Premium licenses, they will need a Copilot Studio user license, which is what's called in the past developer licenses. They are free, but they are not in your tenant. You need to go to your own Microsoft Store inside the tenant, buy free Copilot Studio licenses, and give them to the user. With this, and this is the first trap many times I see in many companies, it's not working because people will work on the studio, but they can't go to the next slide to publish, deploy, and share because those buttons will not work for people if you don't allocate money credits. So that's why the third chapter will be about cost allocations and money, because to deploy Ensure, you need to have some configurations. Environments, so Copilot Studio is part of the Power Platform. Everything the Power Platform, like I said, is working environments. And just to remind, you have securities that you could define for agents, security role, who can make, who cannot make. All DLPs and security and rules you put for Power Platform will apply to Copilot Studio. It's not something different. And Copilot Studio to work at its full potential, it needs Power Automate, it needs Agent Flow, it could need AI builders, it could need all the tools. And so it's part of your Power Platform administrations and governance. Let's go to the second chapter. And we'll just have a look in the room. No questions, no rooms. Just taking a minute to see. Okay, it's okay. We will continue. So, second slide. In the first part, I put a lot of vocabulary, and now we will focus on this part. Like I said, there are two tools and two sharing paths and publication and way of sharing these agents in the company, but very different rules and impact for you to monitor. Copilot 365 users, so the premium users, when they work in the green square, and they want to work with other people with this licensing, it's quite easy. If I said you could say no sharing, but you could allow them to share together. They could share agents to 98 users maximum, and it will be for Microsoft Teams only. When something interesting that could be good or bad, depending on the use case, the people who made these agents and direct share with people, every time the owner of these agents will make an update of the agents, will impact everybody. That's why I don't like when you could share directly to people, because a lot of things could happen. They could block the agents, they could remove the agents. That's why on the bottom, you have something that is for non-Copilot 365 users, but you could use to help Copilot 365 users. It's not well known, but you have on the top right of the screen of Agent Builder, little three dots, and you click on it, and you could download the package. And you ask this package to the user, or you make a copy of this agent for yourself as an IT pro, and you will have this copy on your account or a service account, and you will get the package. And then this is this package. You go to Agent 365, you click very fast, and you will see I have a slide dedicated for this part, but you could take ownership of what will happen, and I will show the whole process on the next slide. Copilot Studio, at the beginning, it looked like exactly the same. And it's important to let it, because in Copilot Studio, it's more like project process. So starting project, people need to make a proof of concept, proof of value, MCP, pilot, a lot of things. So important to have some direct sharing. But every time someone click on publish in Copilot Studio, it publishes to everybody that use the agent. So very important to use the Power Platform capacity to have development environment, production environments. This way, if someone click on publish in development, it will not apply to people who use the versions in production environment. But more of it, as an administrator, very important, I recommend to only allow, by default, Copilot Chat and Teams and SharePoint, and remove all other places they can't share and deploy an agent, because all other places imply governance, security. Imagine they want to put Copilot Studio on a public website, so authentication matter, on WhatsApp, please, no, etc., etc. So you will have Agent 365 that could be used as a central deploy, because in the past it was Teams administrators that receive the Copilot Studio package and add it as an application in Teams. What's interesting here, it's you receive it in Agent 365 as a request through the portals, because from Copilot Studio, they could send a request to administrators, or they could extract the package and send it to you to have manual approbation. So you could decide to have your own process or use the internal process. And just this one, and I will go for more important concern. So just because this one is not well known and I will be quite fast, when you want to share to people an agent builder, and these people don't have a Copilot 365 license, first you go to your Microsoft Admin Center. You go to the Copilot control system. You have a billing menu. You could activate what is called pay as you go. It's allocating and allowing credits and money on the environments that will be used for these people, and it will enable you to deploy these agents. So people will create the agents, give you an administrator the zip, you configure it in the admin centers, you just have an upload button. You will discover that you have a screen that will show you the manifest, validations. You will decide yourself as an administrator to who you share, etc. And you could apply, and we will see later, some purview settings, some template of security, and it will go live. And just be careful at the beginning. It could take few hours just to see the real consumption for people who don't have Copilot 365 licenses. So what nobody tells you about Agent Builder deployment, and yet then we will go back to your toolkit about these questions. It could be good, it could be bad. When you take the zip and extract it from the official process of deployments, you will no more have automatic publish. So like I said, if someone in Agent Builder make an update, you won't have it. So could be interesting if you don't want the user and the maker to every time it make update to send you to everybody, but just to know that could have some manual operations could be changed in the futures. And most important, so since the user have his own agents that he published, and it gives you this package to share to everybody, you will have a second agent. So with the same name, you will have 2 times the same agent, but you have a filter who say who is the publisher. The first one will be with the name of the user. The second one will be named the organizations, your organization as a publisher. So this is how you will know, okay, these agents are used by individual person, and if you block sharing, it's only used by one people, and other ones with the same name and same logo will be org. That's the one you manage. So it could be interesting, and it's a filters to know which are new. And good news, by default, you have owner reassignment. So if the maker leaves the company, you can reassign it, or you could user start the agents, and then you want to take control on it. Just speak with the user before. You could change the owner of an agent builder's agents and reassign it to someone else if the user will leave, or etc. But the org version cannot be reassigned because the owner is a technical organization. And so time is running so fast. Just what you must anticipate when you deploy and share. This slide is just to regroup everything I already said during the previous slide, just to remind. It's just little cards for you to remind, just checklist to check and to remind you what you have, because I didn't say it, but you have a kill switch on agents. So you could disable some agents. And so other thing I already, you have other assignments. You have only 2 channels in Agent Builders. In Copilot Studio, you have the same thing at the left, but you have more because you have to manage and to allow more channels. You have per governance, per environment governance, and you have per agent governance. It's very interesting because you could do something per agents. And per agents configurations, and you have all the application lifecycle you have in a real-life project. So let's go and speak with the complicated part, if it was not already complicated before. So, cost and configurations. If people don't already know, excuse me, I just lose my slide. Okay, if there is only two ways of building agents, there's true and another way. For this, I will speak later on the later slide about Copilot 365 user, or most complicated. When you are using AI and low-code AI inside Microsoft 365, every action costs credits, and credits are converted into money. Things is, you could buy packs of credits, and more you buy packs, the less they cost. It's like for a phone, you buy some minutes for your phones. More you buy, less it costs. It's the same. So it's public pricings. It's like a big number, like 25,000 credits. Just to give a sample, sending an email with Copilot Studio is 5 credits each time, just to have a sample. If you don't buy credits by pack, you have Azure consumption billing for. So if you're an Azure administrator, you already know what it means. And for other one, it's just every time an AI features in the low-code part of your M365, so it will generate and consume credits at full price. No reductions. There is another model for very, very big company like this one. You could buy big Azure consumptions. It's called the P3 model. We will not speak today because it's quite complicated, but it's the two main idea to understand the whole licenses. So, and now we will speak about the elephant in the room. I always heard Copilot 365 user don't pay for Copilot credit. Yes, not exactly. When you will make Agent Builder, it's safe by design. A Copilot 365 Premium user, when you will use an Agent Builder, okay, it's completely included in the premium licenses. It's the main purpose of these licenses with all the features you have. Okay. You share an Agent Builder made to people who only have Copilot chat. These people will have to pay for everything. So just be careful. Sharing an agent based on SharePoint to everybody in the company, every query on SharePoint with a full AI tool usage will be 12 credit by query. So if you have 10,000 people using these agents, it could very, very fast start to cost money. So be careful. And the legends say Copilot 365 users, premium users, when they are using Copilot Studio at Azure, don't pay. No. This legend is because at the beginning, many companies are just making a simple agent in Copilot Studio, which do exactly the same as Agent Builder, but with few features or more complex prompt. And few actions, sending emails, basic actions. But when you use something that is not part of Copilot Studio and not part of Agent Builders, it costs money that it's not inside. Sometimes, because if you take AI Builder, the prompt tool, it depends. Some months it was yes and no. What I will tell, I think Microsoft is trying something, but at the moment I made the slides. In some company, you use AI Builders, and AI Builders is not. It's used in the Copilot Studio, but it needs credits. When you make a prompt, a custom prompt with custom model with AI Builders, it's free. And when you start using this model in Power Automate or Copilot Studio, it's already, even if you are developing, it starts to cost credits. So if you share a Copilot Studio agent with this kind of features or advanced AI features, even if you have a Copilot Studio agent, so very careful. It's more for design, less for administrator, because at admin side, you're not responsible, you cannot block this, but just take in mind, it's important just to monitor that will happen, and that's why the next part will be the monitoring section. And just be careful, autonomous agents could be made with Copilot Studio, and those autonomous agents are not the Copilot 365 users. And when someone wants you to publish a Copilot agent, which will trigger as autonomous without using a Copilot 365 user on a mailbox, and imagine you have AI Builder, a lot of advanced AI features, be careful. If you have thousands of mails every day, could go very, very fast. But every time, just think about return of investment and the value, because if you spend $1, big agents, very big agents, you spend $1 for one mail, but you save $20 of times, it's okay. It's not because it costs money, it's dangerous. It's just because, just imagine the value you gain by treating this mail. But if it's just making synthesis of the email, it's not for the case. And so complex one, and we'll go to further, but important for administrator. For Agent Builder, quite easy, no considerations. I will speak about Copilot Studio, and then I will speak about Copilot Chat User without Copilot 365 license. On environments, you need to put credits to have everything working, and it's true for Copilot Chat User. Copilot 365 user, it's not the case, but they need environments to have credits. Even it's only for people with Copilot 365 premium licenses that will use Copilot Studio. That's why you always need credits or consumptions. So credit, and you could put credits on an environment, and you could decide no more credits, stop. Or you could have an overage of 25%, it's the maximum, and then stop. Or you could tell, okay, when I spend all my credits, I go to a pay-as-you-go, to a real-time consumptions. Just be careful, and Azure administrator know it. Pay-as-you-go, never stop. So if you add pay-as-you-go, it will send you alerts, but it will never stop. And you could use pay-as-you-go only and no credits. But I will recommend the middle one. Why? Because it's complicated to estimate agent cost exactly at $1. It's complicated. What I often recommend at the beginning on the POC, credit only. When you go to pilot or it's an MVP part of a project, go to credits and pay-as-you-go. Start with few credit packs, complete with pay-as-you-go, and when you know exactly how many credits your agents are using, you could start to go back to credit only. And what is important, this is by environment, but you could do it by agent level. And this is something that you cannot do with Agent Builder agents. Agent Builder agents, when it's between people with Copilot 365 license, it's free, no pay, no credits. But when you start to share with people in the company and you do all the process I showed previously, it will create an environment in the Power Platform Admin Center. And your Power Platform admin will say, hey, what's this environment? Why I have a Copilot chat environment that appears? I didn't create it. Where it come from? It comes from that you allow this to happen. But what's interesting? You created a news menu. You say, please create a pay-as-you-go and a place for a Copilot chat user. But what it creates in reality, it's a Power Platform environment. And so everything on the left of this side could be applicable on Copilot chat environment. So you could target credit only or credit plus pay-as-you-go. So when at the beginning it's frightening to have all this pay-as-you-go on the whole company, you could manage credit only Copilot chat. Very, very interesting to make some test and control environment. So for the last 10 minutes of these presentations, we will speak about monitoring, and we start to have more informations and more role. For the monitoring, this is where it starts to be complicated, if it was not already the case. You need a lot of admin role, because since Microsoft, at the moment, in April, Agent 365 and Copilot control systems are still in preview, but it will be in global availability in May. And if you think at the moment there is not a lot of features, stay tuned. A lot of lot of features will come in this part, and I will have to make again this slide with all the new features that will come on this semester or next semesters, and next quarters. But you will have registry for all agents. You will have a map that show you all the connections between agents. You will have some audit. You will have some adoption usage trends. You will see health and security. You could discover agents. You could manage everything for your organization, for third party, and a lot of things like this. But for the costing part, in M365 is very low information. You have few screens like iframe, but Power Platform Admin Center and more. If you are an Azure admin, everything you have here, you have it in Azure. But if you are an M365 administrators, you have it in the Power Platform Admin Center, and you will see per agent's consumptions, environment. You will now see the number of sessions. You will monitor which conversations, what happened, and you could have deep dive usage. So Power Platform Admin Center, even if you are not a Power Platform admin, you need to have some access or to work closely with this. And it's the same for Power Platform admin. You need to have the AI admin role, or you need to be really friends with the AI admin. And this is where the complexity is. At the moment, agents is everywhere. And so you need a lot of tools. Something I didn't speak at the moment about security, which is really important. Agents are application. Application have an application ID as an Entra ID, and agent are having what we call agent ID. Everything you could imagine in Entra, conditional access, agent identity, risk detection, everything you could imagine on user or on applications, you have it at the technical identity level of an agent. This is a technical identity, and on top of this, you could have an account identity or an agent identity. Very, very interesting. And you have Purview, so you don't have the whole Purview, but everything you do in Purview, and I will go deeper in the governance part, could be used at this moment. But just make a little dive about Agent 365, because Microsoft speaks a lot about this. And just to remind what is inside now, it will change in a few weeks, and what it's not in. I already spoke about. Something interesting, I spoke a lot about the registry. You could have a lot of filters. So like I say, it's not a marketing presentations, because Microsoft make a lot of beautiful video or things like this. But just to understand, you have all the agents in your tenants, but Microsoft agents, third-party, partner, organization build, shared, agent builder, Copilot Studio, etc. You don't have those from AWS, Amazon, Google, other GAFAM. It's registered, but just to say, at the moment, just imagine if you know what is Microsoft Fabric for the data, it's easy to imagine that probably Microsoft in one day will say, hey, it could be interesting to have the same. But at the moment, and I don't think it will very close in the GI, no information about this, really, truly. But if you know what is Microsoft doing since the last years, be confident. I'm pretty sure you will have other tools that we could manage in Agent 365. That's why I really deeply insist. It's really important to touch on these tools. And just like I said, agents in development, you cannot see it's Agent 365, because Agent 365 is your production, monitoring, administration, and governance tool. Development is in the Power Platform Admin Center. And that's about governance, something I didn't speak about. I mainly spoke about direct sharing or having a package to say to an admin, but you have inside Agent 365 and Copilot, you have some tabs that call request. So when someone try to share to organizations or to more than a direct sharing, it will trigger that it's called a request for approval. You will receive this request in the Agent 365 tab, in the request tab. You could decide whatever you want, because it will open the agents, and you will decide yourself the scope of sharing, the actions, publish or reject, change some metadata, informations. At this moment, you have access to some Purview template or security template you could apply, and some of those are custom policies, and you could decide how to deploy and how to surface the agents in Copilot, how to pin it, etc. So, little table to summarize all of this. So, the Power Platform Admin Center, just to be quick, because Copilot Studio is part of the Power Platform Center, Power Platform, and so Power Platform in centers. There are some things to know. On the left, if you are already familiar with Power Platform, no news. You have application lifecycle management, credit control, security role. You could decide whatever you want to do with connectors and tools and manage the life of your environment. Important on the right part, the red part, that's why it's red. We spoke about it at the beginning, Maker credential control. First things, remove the ability to Maker to have their own authentications and to remove the default user access. This way, no data leak. If you have some consideration about MCP, you have some whitelist and blacklist about MCP content, and you could allow something, a lot of features. About external IE models, I already spoke about this. It's a two-step configurations. In the IM365 parts of the admin centers, you could decide what you want to do with Anthropics and probably in the future other companies, and if you allow them or not. And since we are in Europe, it's disabled by default, but you can enable this model for limited people, so not all company if you want to test with developers. And it's not because it's enabled here, it will work. Then in the Power Platform environment where you want to use these features, you have environment by environment to decide what you want to do, if you want them to be used or not. And you have the same for preview and experimental models, because Microsoft is sending a lot of new GPT, GPT-3, GPT-4, 5.4, etc. Computer use, I didn't speak about it, but I recommend to disable in default environment and all environment and only use in special IT for environment. It's the ability to make agents that with Copilot Studio that could take control of a computer or a farm of computers. So don't let people use it, and some access for transferring. And to conclude, because it's already 45 minutes, the KAdmin takeaway, because all these tools, we could spend 1 week on each of these tools. Something very important about Purview. With Purview, you could decide and put security label, sensitive label, C1 for confidential, C2, etc., etc. I say very important, data and access to data respect the user access. So C1 forbidden to a user never go to it. But imagine, quite complicated this one. A user with C1 access is making an agent. These agents will have access to C1 content. These agents have actions to create new document and content. And it will use many information. So it will create new content and it could drop it somewhere else. This is where it's important. If you have a good Purview configurations, it will auto-label as C1 the new content. But if you have only manual classifications, be careful, because this information will be taken from one place and moved to another. Be careful. So, but every Purview configurations are applied, so it will be in the agent's answers and it will be shown. So that's why if you have Purview configurations and you disable Maker the capacity to make agents on data that people don't have access, it's okay. Don't worry. Second one is about Entra. Like I said, very important. Just you could use it to find some strange ID and identity. Defenders work on agents and have a lot of guardrail security, prompt injections, could be very interesting. SharePoint side control. I didn't speak about it, and I think it's one of the last takeaway before to conclude, because very important. You could exclude parts of your tenant from agent eyes. So when I said agents see what the user see, I lied a little bit at the beginning, because agents could see less than the user, because you could remove parts of your content that will never be accessed to agents. So think about it. When you think about anthropic models or other AI features, you could start restrain some access, exclude some content from agents, and then everything starts. So this point could change everything. And it's already a long time. Thank you for your attentions. And I will have a look if there are any questions. I see there is exactly same number of people from the beginning, so I don't make people flee too much. One flee. Speak too far. Thank you for all the little hearts and applause. I love it. I will see. Adrian, do you have some questions?
Yeah. There are indeed some questions, but first, thank you for the session. It was really insightful and well structured. Great, really great. So there are some questions. The first one is: do you see any issues when publishing the agents in Teams Admin Center with and without uploading the zip file? Which one do you suggest?
Okay. Well, I'm laughing because Agent 365 is still in preview. So yes, 3 months ago, I published from Agent 365 a zip file. The first one worked. The second one never worked in Teams. Only it's what the fuck? Sorry. It just I got a problem because it was preview. But the question is interesting. In the past, yes, myself, the developers, I asked, hey, Teams admin, please publish this in Teams. And he said, what? Who the hell you are? What you want? And yes, it had to be done in Microsoft Teams. With Agent 365, you do it in Agent 365 and you do all the magic in Teams. But your question is very interesting because I forgot to speak about this during the presentations. When you create agents and you deploy agents, all Teams existing policies apply. And that's a very big problem because in some company, they say, I don't want personal application in Teams. Agent are personal applications. So as a Teams administrator, you have to speak with your AI admin just to have some policies on how to publish. And so good idea if you block personal applications, your administrator will go to Agent 365, he will publish agents, and you will find them in Teams, and you will be happy, and you need to communicate with these people or to be these two people at the same time. Okay. I think I answered the word. I hope. Next questions.
Next question is kind of a licensing question regarding the $15 for Agent 365 and how on behalf of is
Yes.
defined in this context.
To be honest, we know we will have these questions, and I have a meeting with other MVP yesterday, and this question was asked by MVP behind the scene a lot of time. I think it's marketing of Microsoft made some announcements, and better is to wait the Microsoft build first week of June. At the moment, not everything is clear. I will give you my own understanding, but it's subject to Microsoft change or explanations during May and first week of June. For me, there is two different things. Something called Agent 365. You need one Copilot 365 premium license and one Agent 365 license to have it to work, and you did it on each administrator. Then I spoke about agent identity, and yes, you speak on behalf of. The on behalf of features, and I think this is why you will need to buy more licensing. It's when I said agent have an identity different than a user identity. When you are making application and give an identity, a user account or a system account, this account needs a lot of license. It costs a lot. The on behalf of will be interesting. You have an agent, you give it the agent the $15 license to act on behalf of an existing user. It will have the same security access, the same licenses, everything's the same. And what's interesting, imagine you have one identity, one service account, this access, but many agents working with this. Actually, if you want to have a hard cut for security cut, you need to disable the account. All agents will die. I know there is some other way, but just to vulgarize. This way, you have agent identity act on behalf, which is a different agent identity which act on behalf of the parent identity. So a lot of door will open about security concern. But this is my understanding. I share with other MVP, but we need some more insight from Microsoft. I'm sorry, it's not the official answer. Just to confirm, if I share Copilot Studio agent, only internal clonage, no connector on MCP server with a group of Copilot. Yes, it's correct. If you use and more, there is. If you go on a website, you type web search, and you type just Copilot Studio, billing and licensing, you have 2 Microsoft Learn web pages. There is a table. You will see there is more. Sending an email, using action is free. Most of MCP server, which are built in by Microsoft, are free. You have a WorkIQ connector, free. You have a lot of free, and every month Microsoft is adding some free content, and I think in the future, IE Builder will be free. Yes, so just have a look. But yes, this one are free, but it's not because it's free. You still need Copilot credit on the environment because it's a security blocking, no credit on the environment. Publishing button of Copilot Studio will not work, even if you intend to share, because the system don't know what you will do in the futures. People are still aligned, and I will answer those if you want. Was it all the questions? We still have 5 minutes.
Yeah. I think there are no Q&A questions. So yeah, that's it. So thanks again. And yeah, thank you for joining us. And yeah, we will continue in this track with Clément Séraphin. And yeah, have a good day.
See you. Have a good day, everybody. Have fun with the Coco.